are real issues for real parents, and today is a day of talks, of shared experiences and inspiration for parents by parents.
First of all, don't overpraise your children for success. Secondly, don't over-rescue them, particularly don't over-rescue your girls. Thirdly, and this is a big cliche around at the moment, allow them to be bored, because boredom is the engine of imagination.
We're going to have 3 lessons a day, probably. Sometimes we'll have 1 lesson a day for the whole day. And sometimes we might have a lesson that extends over a whole week.
So if you were taking that sort of radical approach to designing an educational experience or a classroom, what would it be? And if they designed a classroom, if indeed it is a room, would it be a room?
I realised that school had started to drive a wedge between me and my son. I was very scared that I didn't think those connections would be made back again.
A year or so after the bullying started, 8-year-old me, that was when I discovered programming properly. And it was a new world of things for me to explore, things to learn, and problems to solve. You say Minecraft is like crack for children? I'm not surprised that people love it so much. It gives them a level of freedom and creativity that they don't really get anywhere else.
The one thing that we worry about only is the amount of screen time they have. And we've had the rules, we try to be consistent when we rewrite them. And then along came this game called Minecraft. I suddenly discovered Jack was building a hotel in a tree. And what's more, he's talking on Skype with his friends as well at the same time.
This is an exercise where you ask where dad just gets to be completely controlled. Lift your left arm, take a step forward, and there's some freely available software called Scratch. And this is a really beautiful little tool that lets you create a game as a child, or as a parent today, you could learn this, and it's drag and drop.
Some of the things we do involve screens. I don't make a big distinction. It's just screens are just part of the environment. They're a bigger and bigger part. I can't imagine why anyone would restrict access to them. I can't imagine why anyone would restrict access to books or to mountains.
I personally believe that children under 5 don't need it. That's my belief, so I just think it sets up unrealistic expectations of the real world.
The supervision is also very important to talk about what it is that they are thinking about, what are they exposed to, and how can we address that with the young person.
I'm going to talk to you a bit about creativity, but I'm also going to talk to you about technology and how it kind of changed my life. Coming at it from the world of creativity. So we said, you know what, if you look at the modern day artists, they're making things with code, okay? So we're going to be a bit radical, and we're going to say that developers are the new artists, okay?
Do you want to join in? You'd have to, the trouble is, you have to give the iPad away. You have to give the iPad away. It's the world's third favorite toy.
I saw that and thought, hang on, schools are teaching creativity out to children. We have a system. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering and maths. But if you put an A in the middle of that, it becomes STEAM. You inspire everybody to create things. So what we're announcing today, we want to call it the STEAM Co. The STEAM company, the STEAM co-creation, the STEAM collaborators, whatever we want code to mean. And we want to get other schools to do this, to try what we've done. We want to build a body of parts. So if you want to get involved.
My message today is that I'd like parents to recognise the importance of creativity and to see that the encouragement of creativity in the household is an investment in our children's futures.
I'm going to start from the premise that kids love making things. So whether or not that's cooking or playing a musical instrument or making with Lego, but the idea of putting bits and pieces together to create something new. And that could be something new for the world, or it could just be something new to them.
Move them one tiny bit at a time, create your sequence of images. So I'm going to keep it really simple, but you can see that. But also by using the skills, you can really go on to do anything you want. It's really, it's when you start thinking of creative, exciting things like how to animate fire.
I'm going to tell you a strategy that is practical and effective. Practical means you can do it, effective means it works. It works to get kids into the habit of doing what they're supposed to be doing.
And so I started all this off with an idea about teaching my boys about how to tell a good story.
I do a 4-day week and I leave at 5 o'clock because I'd like to see my kids, but I also really love what I do. So I tried to think about, is there a better word than part-time? And anyway, so my was actually that we should all start talking about smart time.
So that was an interesting day out, more for the experience perhaps than the actual learning, but it is a kind of cornucopia of a museum.
So what you can see here these are images from our show. They're the kind of, I think the reason that they were a success really is because we did our storytelling the way parents do, the way parents and children do storytelling.
Thank you all very, very much. Thank you for all our speakers, Noel, Guy, Steve, Dan for leading it, and all the parents for standing up. Our sponsors as well. We had fantastic support from NetMums with their Million Mums. Moo.com printed 20,000 postcards. Dell have lent us a load of computer kit. Code Factory are helping us out with the coding corner downstairs. And Adam and Eve ad agency have come along and provided a load of extra free tickets. The Guardian for a great story. But most of all, thank you guys. And it takes people to come along, and you've done that, so thank you very much.